Ready.
We are live and welcome. Welcome to our show. This is the Family Podcast. We're actually going to call this podcast Do It Live.
Do it live.
Welcome to our first episode. My name is Christopher Sweeney, also better known as Papa Sween Dog. And today we're going to introduce the family. This is going to be our first podcast number 1. We did do a pilot podcast that was live, and we are going to continue to do podcasts, hopefully, weekly. Today, around the table, I'm going to introduce the folks that are sitting around the table right now in order of age. The first is Caden. He is the oldest son number 1.
Hello, my name's Caden. I'm son number 1. Summed up very nicely.
And next is daughter number 3 and child number 4, and her name is Lucy.
Hello. I too was summed up correctly.
Lucy's going to be the co-host as I am as well on most episodes, and Caden's going to be here most of the time as well. He lives across town, so he might not be here every time. And with us to start this podcast is the second to youngest Sweeney, and her name is Zaylee.
Hello.
Zaylee, how old are you?
6.
And how many siblings do you have that are younger than you?
1.
And how many nieces do you have?
1.
And what's her name?
PJ.
And where is she?
In our house.
That's right. So the podcast, we had talked a little bit about what the podcast is going to be and what it's not going to be. And
We did?
A
What's
little
it
bit
not going to be?
on the pilot. What? Well, that's just an expression. I don't know if we really got into what it's not going to be, but what it is going to be is probably Judah. A lot of Judah standing at the door making weird faces, and it's going to be
really light.
It's going to be hopefully a conversation about where we are in life and stories about different aspects of life. So the Sweeney family began with myself and my wife Jen back in 1997 when we got married, and then we had Caden shortly after.
How old were you got married?
I was 21, and we've had babies throughout the years. Up until 3 years ago was our last baby, and her name's Wendy.
How do you know it's
We'll
the
meet
last?
her we'll meet her later on. So we're kind of a multi-generational family with people ranging from 25 all the way down to 3, and with a baby, with Caden just having his first baby. So we have little babies all the way down to a couple days old. And so I think it would be kind of interesting to hear from everyone on the different places everyone is in their life, and what is going on, what's it like to be a particular age at a particular time, doing a particular set of things. And so that's what we're going to kind of talk about, I think, in general.
So, I don't know if you thought this far ahead, but do you know who everyone is coming on? Like, is everyone coming in? Like, Brody, Gia, PJ, Mom coming in?
Today?
Yeah.
Well, whoever wants to come in and be introduced, I think, from a range of people right now, we have Caden and his wife had just had their first baby, so it'd be interesting to do some questions and answers on what it's like to be a Catholic father and mother in now with a brand new baby, and all the great ideas and thoughts and dreams for the future with the baby, and at the same time all of the different struggles and challenges that come along with the baby and sleep, and which always seems to be everyone's go-to, although you look very awake.
Well, I just had a nice Dunkin' coffee right when I got here, so it's always good to have coffee at 8 o'clock at night.
That's what I say. That's my motto. But I don't drink coffee, so it's kind of a weird motto.
So we have we'll have Caden talk about that. We have Gia is planning a wedding next year, so it'll be interesting to hear about that. I think some of the episodes we're going to be talking about different stories, different topics that we come up with. Caden has a predilection with, I don't think that's really the right word, but with
Sounds like
elephants.
a weird word.
That is a
That
weird
sounds like, yeah, it was definitely not the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever,
I
yeah.
think it's close to the right word.
Close.
But Caden will have an episode on potentially different animal species like elephants and
Yes.
a little bit about elephants. And we'll have Caden is very into different types of weeds that are edible, so I'm sure he'll tell us a little bit
With
about that.
weeds with an S. Weeds with an S.
Yeah, just the
Edible
Just to
wild
put that out
plants.
And then going down the line, then we have Emmy, who's a very interesting character. She is 18 and she works at a horse farm.
she's 17.
Soon to be 18, right?
Nope, she just turned 17.
Soon to be 18. next
18
year.
in about a year.
So she works at a horse farm. She's a, I don't know if you call her a power lifter. I assume that you could label her a power lifter. She
She lifts
gym-
weights powerfully.
She's a gym
For sure.
enthusiast. That's definitely correct to say about her. And she has a lot of interesting knowledge, especially in history. She enjoys reading history books and understanding different histories of the world through the lens of Catholicism. So it'll be interesting to hear her take on some of the history. And then going down from there, we have Lucy, and Lucy's probably the least interesting of everybody. So we'll skip over
Wow.
her. No, I'm just kidding. What do you have going on?
Well, look, we can save that because there's a lot. I know there's a lot about me everyone wants to know, so we'll save that for when we go through the line. I'll wait my turn.
All right. And then after Lucy, we have Maddock, and Maddock is 12, and so in our family at 12 years old, we have
Last year of a kid.
That's right. Do you want to explain what last year of the kid is?
So,
You have to stop hitting the table though, because it's making real bad noise.
last year of a kid is, you can, last year of a kid, no, this seat is mine.
Anyways, go ahead, Sally.
Last year of a kid is like, no, this is my seat, and so,
All right.
do that.
So we'll hear more about last year as a kid. Zaley explained it really well. And then next is Judah. He's the one we're just shooing away from the door. He's always into something, especially something related to dinosaurs.
Or sharks.
He can tell you pretty much any dinosaur, the name of it, what it looks like, what it eats.
At
Real
this point, he
dinosaurs,
could be
fake
making-
dinosaurs.
Yeah, he could be making them up by now, and
They-
we would just be like, oh,
I'll tell
really?
you.
They can be, he can be like making drawings of it, and yeah.
He does a good job of drawing.
Yeah, he does.
Would you stop hitting the table there?
Yeah.
So excited.
She's excited.
Enthusiastic.
And then after Zaley, or after Judah, then is Zaley. And Zaley, you are 6 years old.
I'm 6 years old. 6 years old and a half.
6.5. And what's your favorite toy to play with?
Probably my Chelsea toy,
Very nice.
What's a Chelsea toy?
Barbie.
Barbie. Ah.
All right, and then finally we'll have Winnie, and Winnie is 3 years old.
Pretty much
and
4 by now.
Almost 4, and she has a lot of cute things to say as well. So, Zaley, why don't you go and grab one of the next guests, maybe Maddock or Judah.
Who's next?
Whoever wants to come out, that's fine. What's that?
Should you mute hers?
So is this episode going to be mainly bringing everyone in, introducing them, brief introduction, and that type of thing? Or are you planning on going into a little bit more in depth with like Gia's wedding and about Haley being a first mom, or is that more saving that for maybe a next episode going?
Yeah,
to more
I thought
depth?
that would be kind of an episode where
Yeah.
we, for instance, with Gia and Brody, I think it would be interesting if we had kind of like what they used to do with the old Newlywed Game, where we bring Gia in first and just ask her a bunch of questions, and then we see if Brody can match the answers to the
Oh
questions.
yeah, that sounds good.
And then we reverse them, and then we bring them in together. We bring them in together, and then we see if they can match their answers. Hey, Judah.
Hi.
This is Judah, Jumpin' Judah Joe by his fans.
Don't have that many.
All right. Well, Judah, at some point between now and the time you go get Maddox to join us, hoping you will do a raptor impersonation. Is that a bargain?
Maybe.
Do you think that it's possible for you to name every dinosaur you know, or is it like too many you couldn't even count by this point?
I probably could name them all.
Rattle them off.
Okay, Allosaurus, Ankylosaurus, T-Rex, Dilophosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Carnotaurus, Mosasaurus, Plesiosaurus, I know there's more.
There's definitely more you probably
Yeah, Spinosaurus,
Ankylosaurus?
Iguanodon. I said
Oh,
Ankylosaurus.
sorry.
And there's probably a lot more.
What's the one that flies that's your favorite?
Sorry.
A pterodon or Quetzalcoatlus?
Quetzalcoatlus. That's the biggest one, right?
Yeah, that's a huge. It's like as big as a jet.
Wow.
Oh yeah, there's one more, and it was. It just came up to me.
And what's the biggest land dinosaur?
Could it be one that could go in the water?
Sure.
Probably I'd think the Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Is that taller or longer?
It's 40 feet long. I don't think it measures by height.
40 feet long. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that bigger than the one with the really long necks? What are those called?
There's Brontosaurus, there's Argentinosaurus, and then there's more.
And they both have really long necks.
Yeah.
But the Spinosaurus is bigger than those.
I think they might be bigger. But the carnivores. All the carnivores.
Spinosaurus is a carnivore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty crazy
Why is it crazy?
because it's that big and it's a carnivore
Also, it could swim. So,
Oh.
and it can swim. So you're not getting away from it.
no. Also, it could fly.
Nah.
No.
So Judah, how old are you?
10.
10 years old. And you are the third boy in the family.
Third and the last.
Third and the last. And you are the fifth child total.
Yep.
No,
Third boy,
he's
fifth
the-
child.
He's the sixth.
Remember?
Sixth
seven,
child.
eight,
Yeah,
nine.
sixth
I didn't
child.
count it. 1, 2, yeah.
So what are you looking forward to this year?
I'm looking forward to Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah.
You're skipping over all the other months?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and Florida.
What are we doing in Florida?
Well, we're going to Busch Gardens, which is going to be great. And I got to go to Maddox's trip. So
Where's my next trip?
he's going to Discovery Cove.
And what are you excited about for Discovery Cove?
I can't wait to swim the fishes and eat all the ice cream I can.
Caden, do you get to swim with the fishes in Discovery Cove?
You do, but not in the mobster way. You get to actually go down there and swim with them.
Nice. And then for Christmas, what are you looking forward to?
The warm feeling of Christmas.
With cookies?
Yes.
And milk.
Yes. And snow. Lots of snow. Hopefully we get a blizzard
Hopefully.
this year.
Yeah. Last year, we didn't even get the blizzard. We usually take a traditional rudder's walk, as we call it. So we wait for the worst blizzard or the best blizzard. Yeah, the best blizzard. And then we take a walk to the nearest rudders. And it's nice because there's no cars going because there's snow all over unless the plowmen come before we can get out there. And yeah, so It's our writer's block. Sounds kind of weird now. What'd you do?
Just turn it down a little bit. You were kind of spiking the meter there.
All right.
Now I hear everything. Like now it's really echoey.
Echo.
Yeah,
echo,
I don't hear her
echo.
anymore.
I can hear perfectly fine.
I could step away.
I can't hear. I can't hear her on the microphone.
That's because she's too far away.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
yeah,
wanna
now
go
I
that
can.
close. I like right here.
So we're just learning, trial by error a little bit here.
Yep.
I like right here.
More
Can you hear me
echoey.
from here?
Yep.
Yeah, I can.
All right. So Judah, why don't you head out and get
Matic?
Matic or one of the next ones? Thank you for all that. Well, thank you for all of the information about dinosaurs today. That was good right off the top of your head. I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And before you leave, on your way out, maybe, what is your favorite dinosaur to imitate? Perhaps a raptor.
Maybe.
Maybe throw out a little raptor at us on the way
Yeah.
out.
Maybe.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Judah.
We'll be seeing you.
Everything sounds really.
So I think this table we need to adjust in later episodes because people keep tapping it
Yeah, it's tough right there.
and
right.
it's making a little bit of an echoey sound. It is a hard spot. We just need to kind of figure out the arrangements with the cameras and everything like that. Going back to what you were saying, though, I think that we have different episodes with those things. I think there could be an episode on horses, might be interesting, and hear what it's like to be a horse trainer, and at the same time you're a horse rider, and a little bit about horses in general, breeds of horses, and stories about how you train them, things like that. That might be good.
Philosophy.
Yeah, I think that
of
sounds good. We
horses.
we can go further into everybody's interests and knowledge on their interests.
Everybody.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you were trying to dive into that today or not, but I'm glad to hear we're not. That would be like a 10-hour episode.
10-day episode.
Do you know that camera's paused?
Thank you, Matt.
Oh no.
I wonder if it was paused the
No,
whole time.
it wasn't paused the whole time. I saw it going.
I must have went too long.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
good.
you want to move that one a little bit because
This one?
you can't see me in that one, and half the time you're blocking me in that one.
There you go. Now you can do it live.
So you found the tripod. That's good.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that we'll have to do, oh, by the way, this is Matic, everyone. Everyone, Matic, everyone.
Hi.
Excellent. One of the things that we'll have to do is one of the things that we brought up last time is as we are embarking on this, I think as a family collectively, me in particular, spend a lot of time in my conversation and my speech saying things like,
Oh, yeah. Talked about this in the pilot.
yeah. And I know Caden he's a little self-conscious about himself doing that. So I think this is a good way of hearing yourself in these speakers and the headphones. See how this there, but hearing yourself and being able to try to think through not doing that while we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't think I used to do that back in high school when I would do, like when we had I'm trying not to do it, really hard not to do it.
It's hard to do
It
that
kinda- It kind of helps you
Like,
to
yeah.
think, sometimes thrown in and But yeah, in high school when we had public speaking classes, I never at least noticed it, and nobody else noticed it to bring it up. And I didn't think I really ever did it. I always was pretty comfortable speaking
You don't-
and speaking fluently.
You don't
And then
do it at all in your videos. You do a really good job speaking fluently.
Oh,
It's just
thanks.
50
Plant
seconds.
Thanks. No, sorry, Luce. Not long enough for you. But recently, now I feel like I can't even speak 30 seconds without saying "I'm" like I just did. And something that I realized, but I didn't realize how bad I was doing it until my wife pointed it out. My wife, Haley, you'll meet her. She does not like it. It hurts her ears to hear So she pointed it out a few times, and then every time I would say it, I would realize I was saying it. And once you start saying it, you keep saying it, and then you can't stop saying it.
And you start
And
getting like
it's-
self-conscious.
Yeah.
You're like,
Mhm.
oh no, oh, what do I,
Yeah. So
Right.
once were you finished with your story?
Well, I was just going to say, so it's something I've been working on, and I've gotten a little bit better at it. But I was hoping that this podcast, I talked about it with her, I was hoping this podcast would help me with a little bit, taking away that or.
Yeah. So once is this a good level? Not too bad for your ears.
You sound a little echoey, to me at least.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So is this better?
That sounds a lot better.
Okay. So once.
You have a nice voice.
Thank you. A bunch of times actually, but this one particular time, Imogen, my sister, hates like when I say like or and so I was in the pool and she was outside of it and she said, "You say like and so much that you should try doing it. I bet you can do it for one sentence." And so I said, "I bet I could, and if I do it, then I'll like go under the." I'm saying it now, aren't I? I'll put myself under the water for like a long time, and or every time I say it. And so I ended up going under the water a bunch of times that day and then like Kaden said, once you start doing it, you realize you're doing it, and then you have to think really hard not to do it, but then you accidentally do it even when you're thinking really hard about not doing it. It's kind of like that thing where if you think of a purple elephant, if you try not to think of a purple elephant and you say, don't think of it, then you're going to think of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's happening to me right now.
Yeah.
Purple elephant. I see a bunch of them dancing around my head.
All right, so you want to introduce Matic? Well, you kind of did.
You already met everybody.
In the pilot.
Yeah, he said hello. Oh, in the pilot? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about right now?
I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Matic is the second boy in the family, second son,
And like
and the
fifth
fifth kid.
kid.
He's
And the only
fifth
one that likes cigars.
What? And I was like, what? How did you know? I mean, no, I don't.
So Matic is 12. He's going to be 13 in the fall. He's a ginormous individual. He
5'10".
is
He's the
5'10".
biggest 12-year-old to ever live.
I believe if I had to guess today, if I had to put money on it, I would say that he will be an inch taller than I am right now, and I'm 6'7". So I think he's going to be about 6'8".
How tall were you when you were his age?
I was 6'7".
So you haven't grown.
No, I was probably about your height.
Really? Okay. Because I was going to say, if you were smaller, then he's probably like close to done growing then. But since you're about his height, then maybe he will be taller than you.
Yeah. Well, I remember you probably would be the tallest kid in your class. He's homeschooled, so he can't just level off every day with comparison against other kids. But I would say that you're probably the tallest kid in your class. And when I was in 7th or 8th grade, I was probably about 6'1", so I was pretty short, like Caden's height. And then
I'm 6'2".
And then by the time I was in 9th grade, I was 6'3" or 6'4". And then I went to high school, and until I graduated, I was 6'6", and then I grew another inch in college.
In 7th grade, I think I was 5'7". And yeah, just throwing that out there because
Aren't
we're
you
talking
still-
about height. So
Aren't you 5'10" right now?
I'm practically,
Or you're
5'11".
5'11". Yeah, because you're still taller
I'm a
than me.
little-
Practically 5'11", so it sounds like you're 5'10".
I'm 5'10", but I'm like a quarter. Like I'm like this much away from 5'11", so I might as well just be 5'11", because there's no point of not being.
You keep doing this.
And so Matic has started working out. How is it that you started working out? Like, what drove you to start lifting weights and getting in shape?
It's actually a really funny story. We were my cousin Eddie came over to visit, and we like to pick on each other just for fun. And one time he came over to me, and he stepped up to me, and he flicked me right in the nipple, and he said, "Look at boing." And then I realized that I have to get in better shape, so he can't do that anymore. And we're going to see him out in Florida in the sometime early September, and so hopefully there's some improvement.
So if you get boinged
You're
out
gonna
there, you're gonna.
you're gonna say, Eddie, come flick this, give it a try.
I dare you.
break a finger.
And if there's no boing sound, then you know you did a good
good.
job.
Yeah.
So, from a lifting standpoint, you started out and you could barely lift the 45 pound barbell,
Really?
and now you're up to what?
I do 25s on each side.
25s on each side.
I think we're getting better though.
How many
great.
reps do you
Moving
So
get?
that's 95. That's really good.
How many reps do you get?
Around like 3 by myself. 3. Yeah.
So that's not even your max, because you can like, how much can you get just doing one? You know what I'm saying?
3 rep max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
How much do you deadlift?
Oh, 50s on each side.
50s on each side, and it's a 80-pound bar, right? That you
Yeah.
use. You don't use the 45-pound.
Yeah, we use the 80. It's either 80 or 80. I think it's 80 pound hex bar.
And I squat 45s and I lunge 45s.
That's really good. And do you feel like you're getting stronger?
Yeah,
Feel like you're in better shape?
I do.
What's the hardest part about lifting at 12 years old?
Trying to get past that struggle block where you just kind of want to quit and you're like, I have like so much more to do, and you feel like you can do more, but you just think it takes real long to do more, so you just kind of want to give up. And so you have to get past that mentally and physically, and also just trying to get out there, like when you're in the middle of doing something. And my sister Emmy always pesters me to get out there, and I eventually do, but the hardest part is just, kind of getting out there. And
Are you glad she pesters you? Because like we
Yeah.
can probably not be out most of the times.
it really
that you
wakes me up in the morning, and I start out kind of like crabby, but it wakes me up.
Yeah, when he goes out there, he's like, he's kind of a little grumpy, but then when he comes in, he's like full happy smile, man. He's like completely, went from
180.
Do you find it harder? Is the hardest part getting out to the gym, or while you're there trying to push through, not having to stop?
I think the hardest part is getting out in the gym.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
You just don't really want to do it at all.
Especially if it's in the morning.
And you're like, there's so much more I can do. There's like, I can read, and then you're looking, and you're like, there really isn't much other things you do when you're 12, because you don't have a car, you don't have places to be.
Yeah, I definitely find it harder to get myself there. And in the mornings, it's even tougher. I prefer lifting in the morning. I typically go before work because, like you said, you're grumpy getting up and going there. But then after you lift, you feel so much more energized and you're ready to go and start your day. And you kind of already got through the hardest part of your day, like forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do. So the rest of the day seems kind of easy at that point.
What-
And then you don't have to worry about going to the gym after work and it's weighing on you.
Yeah, it's like a weight off your chest.
You know this.
Kind of literally.
You know this kind of stuff, Kanan. So how come when you go out and lift, isn't there something with your body where it like lets off something where you
Feel better? Oh yeah, you get a whole bunch of different hormones that are released, and different endorphins that are released, and then you also just getting in the morning. You've been sleeping, and so you've been laying pretty much still the whole time. So when you get out there and lift, you're getting the blood flow going.
Yeah.
That all helps wake you up and helps with you feeling better about the day.
Yeah, I remember I was
Guys.
upset about something, and so I took a run and I was sprinting, and when the time I got back home, I was like completely calm and actually happy. So taking a walk, a run, or exercising is a good way to calm yourself.
Yeah, and different types of exercises release different types of endorphins, or different amounts of endorphins. So depending on what you do, HIIT workouts, long distance cardio, lifting, all that stuff. All good in different ways.
Yeah, and this year, as you mentioned, we're going to take a trip over down to Florida, and then next year you're going to start playing football.
I'm excited.
It's exciting.
One thing I want to go over before Matic leaves is last year as a kid, because we kind of left that open after Zaylee explained it.
Yeah, he explained it a little bit on the pilot, but go ahead and explain what is last year as a kid again.
Last year, a kid is, So it's basically to show that you're entering into the stage of growing up and not being a kid anymore. That's why it's called Last Years as a Kid. And we call it Last Years of a Kid, but Dad always says it's Last Years as a Kid. But basically, my dad started it. I don't think anyone else does it. I think it's just our family. And you get special privileges, which is like picking the seat that you want or picking the movie that you want, kicking the older person out of the seat and you getting it. But you also have to pick up more work, and you also have to be more responsible and more mature.
And you get to like stay up later, right?
Yeah.
Do things like that.
But everybody kind of
Yeah.
stays up late in this house.
Yeah.
Once you left, they kind of level.
And you also got for your last year as a kid birthday last year when you turned into last year as a kid.
Hunting.
What'd you get?
A dog.
Which is named.
Ear beer. Yeller.
And what kind of dog is it?
It's a golden retriever.
And what have you learned with the golden retriever this year?
You like trained?
Yeah, like what did you learn about you being the sole owner of a dog?
It's hard work, especially when you first start out. Like when you first start out, you kind of have doubts that you're like, oh, this is really hard, and you're barely able to sleep. And there's a lot of poop and pee you have to clean up. But halfway through, when they're doing a lot better and there's big improvements, you feel a lot better, and you're glad that you made this choice. And Yeller's doing great with come and sit and stay, and she listens to me very well. And she wakes me up now when she has to go to the bathroom. We wake up every morning. It's a
That's great.
routine.
And didn't you even get some compliments by the neighbors on how well she walks with you?
There was two neighbors complimented me, and then there was multiple people in like when we took a dog walk at a park and stuff.
That's great. So are you happy that you got a dog, or are you still...
No, I'm very happy that we got a dog.
Do you have any tips for new dog owners, especially like kids your age getting a dog and have to take care of, train them themselves?
Well, if you want to start training them at a young age, so it sinks through their mind quicker. And I said you want
Now
to
you said and
you want to train them in a specific way where you show that you're the boss. So maybe you step out of the door first before letting them out, or you hold them right by your side when you're walking instead of letting them go in front of you. Or there's different things you can do. You can look them up. There's a bunch of videos and research you can look up.
No, that's very good. All right. Well, thank you. Did you have fun talking on the podcast today?
It was really fun.
You can come back and tell us more about dog tips.
Sure, whenever you need.
Let's have at least 3 dog tips every time you come on.
Be dog tips with Matic.
The big dog. All right.
And
Can you grab whoever else wants to come on? I don't know
I'll
who
grab
else
Mom.
is in
Haley
there.
and PJ. Or Mom, either one.
Okay.
Haley and PJ.
All right, so we are about 30 minutes through,
Oh, pretty good.
33 minutes through. One of the checkpoints that I was going to say is I don't think we should go above an hour on any podcast. I think
Definitely.
that would be too long. I think we should really target somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour, 50 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. Just depending on the content, but or the topic for that day. But I think an hour needs to be cut off, so we'll have to I'll keep an eye on like when we get to like 50 minutes.
And
We'll just start speed round then.
Stick around.
like, it should sound, oh, hi, Haley, nice to meet you. PJ, okay, now go good, Mom, please. Okay, hi, Mom, nice to meet you. Please go, Jan Brody. Okay, hi, Jan Brody. Anyways, also, so we were talking about the time, but what about, do we have a specific day we're going to be recording and we're going to be posting, or is that still in the air? Because I know you said on the what's it called? Pilot, that we were going to do like Tuesdays. We were going to record Tuesday so we could post Friday, but today is Friday and we're recording, so what are you thinking?
Gonna have to post Tuesday then.
Well, Lucy has a theory about when you post can impact the amount of people actually viewing your
Okay, you
podcast.
want to sit down?
She's shy.
Here you go.
Here, you want to sit on my lap?
Putting the headphones on.
You'll be able to hear us a lot better, Winnie.
Here, put these on. Because you'll be able to hear us. Listen.
So
shy.
I think that, and you don't have to talk, Winnie.
Yeah, you can just listen. Here,
this
lift
is
up your head.
Winsome Eve. She's known as Winnie. She's the sweetest little cupcake
Can you hear?
inside of the oven.
You don't want to hear? All right.
That's fine. You just sit there for a few minutes.
Yeah, they were. I was at this Fiat retreat, and Mom, Winnie, and Zaylee were coming to pick me up, and they were coming in to help me with my luggage. And as soon as they got to the door, Zaylee went right in, but Winnie, after she saw all the people there, she started like going, no. So she's a little shy right now, but she'll grow out of it.
She will. So going back to your question, I think, Caden lives across town, and so it's going to be challenging for him to get over here. But you usually get out on weeknights too. So, I mean, if we want, we could do it on a Tuesday. I think Lucy's goal is to post it sometime around noon on Saturday, right? Because she thinks Saturday postings are the optimum posting time.
Yep.
All right.
Not Friday
So
nights,
edit it
not Monday
Friday,
mornings.
post it, because then we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to be like, oh, it's 11:59. We got to edit it. Edit it on Friday, so then we can post it whenever on Saturday.
Okay. I mean, I think that makes sense for me. And then we'll have to talk through what topic areas we're going to cover for the next week. Maybe we'll do that on the previous podcast. Like today, we'll throw out a topic that we're going to discuss next week and see if we actually do it.
Yeah. Should we get our next guest?
Yeah.
I'll go get them. You guys can talk.
All right. So, this one was a little bit more off the cuff because we'll do it live. And I think some of them will have a little more free flowing thoughts from looking things up. But how's it going? So
We're a
far?
little more plan on what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, we're doing a little more free flowing today. But
Yeah.
how's it going today for you?
For how we're free flowing. It's a tongue twister. How we're just going off the cuff here. I think it's going pretty well. And being already 37 minutes in, it's actually flying by.
Tis. And
Yeah.
Haley said that her and PJ will come in as soon as Niji, our grandmother, is done holding little PJ.
What about some of the other folks, Gia, Brody?
I'll go get them.
The other thing that I'm kind of a little bit anal with certain things, and we'll have to try to figure out the arrangements for seating because the tip tapping on the table
It's annoying. And it
driving me crazy.
Not only the sound, but it keeps kicking it and the whole thing rattles. That's kind of annoying.
So maybe what we could do is put a temporary desk there and just one microphone.
Yeah, we should do that. That would work.
And then
Yeah.
they could put their feet underneath it. But even when we're sitting at the table, I notice that if I'm moving or rubbing,
You can hear it.
anything, you can hear it. You can hear everything.
You
So
can hear my chair moving. I was just moving in case I got out.
no, I'm just doing this because so we all have to kind of be cognizant of that. But these are things that we're learning as we do it live.
Yeah.
Gia and Brody are not here. Mom's here.
What
though.
about Mom? Is she going to come out?
Looks like she's about to.
Oh,
We have,
I didn't think it was
Here
going to
we
happen.
go.
I didn't think it was going to happen. Hello. Yeah, Winnie can come in as long as she stays quiet because you can pick up everything on these microphones.
If Winnie comes in, Sally's coming in. Just to let you know.
Oh, jeez. The two of them, the little terrors of love.
Okay.
All right, here, put on your headphones.
While she's sitting down, we have a very packed house here. So I just moved out, but before I moved out, there were 8 kids, the 2 parents, mom and dad.
And the grandparent.
My mom's mom, we call her Nudgy, and 3 dogs, 2 cats.
A horse and a pig.
Not yet,
You're
but
going to have to move
that's quite a
closer
bit.
to the microphone.
Can you tell us why we call our grandmother Niji?
yeah, it is short for a Hungarian term for grandmother, which I believe is Najanya.
Yeah,
believe.
sounds right. Yeah.
Najanya. But that's a lot tougher to say when you're a baby. So, or a little kid. So we call her Nudgy.
So the lady that just sat down in the pink shirt, her name is Jen
Yeah.
Lolly, Mom, Sweetie.
Yeah. Lolly is the badge of honor.
Lolly just got sewn on 2 Sundays ago.
That is her, instead of being called grandmom, that is her grandmom name.
And then dad is Pop, so it's
And
Lollipop.
Lolly and Pops. Lollipop.
Papa Sweet Dog.
Dad's
baby-
pushing for Papa Sween Dog.
The baby
Baby's
will,
first words.
The baby will appreciate it, and everyone will be happy that the baby can say such long sentences.
Yeah, you can tell she'll be able to.
She's a smart cookie.
She's very smart. So today we're just kind of introducing everybody and giving a little bit of a background story on people and in the family and what they do and how they do it.
Yeah.
And so we talked a little bit about you and I getting married and having the one over to your left there,
This big one.
number one. And so I wanted to see if you wanted to maybe tell the story about how we met.
Because you forgot.
No.
Just like our anniversary.
Well, we both were, 19, I think? And,
And full of
Really?
love.
You were only 19 and then you got married 2 years later?
yep.
Wow. That's true
So,
love.
and we met, well, Dad was on summer break, or Chris. Dad, Chris,
Right.
Papa Sween Dog.
This guy.
Was on summer break from college, and we were both working out at the YMCA, keeping fit, looking good, a lot younger, less wrinkles, and that was that. Really, and just I saw him lifting. He was lifting pretty heavy weight, and I was like, that guy's pretty cute.
Who went over to who first?
Well, we would just pass each other and do that kind of shy hi thing.
And then who actually started the
and then
conversation?
Dad did.
Of course Dad did.
He asked me how many crunches I did.
Did I really?
Yeah. How many crunches?
It's a great
can
opening
you do?
line. I highly recommend everyone use it.
And then that was
You're at
that.
a library. Hey, how many crunches did you do today?
How many crunches did you do?
I don't know, 200-300. I don't know, probably a modest amount, but
Mom's abs at the time were insane, though. They were popping out all over the place.
Like
it's hard to
Emmys?
believe
Smack you in
after
the
8
face.
kids.
And then, as I recall it, I was there. The way the YMCA was constructed at the time, there was a upper section of the YMCA which was all heavy, or not heavy weights. I mean, there were some light weights there too, but there were free weights in the one section, and then downstairs was a cardio room. There was a kickboxing room, different rooms, and I came upstairs one time. Mom was wrapping up. I think she was benching. And I saw her, and then we just did that like nervous high thing. And then she went downstairs, and I stayed in the weight room. And then I went downstairs later to accidentally run into her, and she wasn't there. So then I kind of did like a circle around to get like the long way to get to the men's locker room to get changed real quick, and I didn't see her. So I said to myself, okay, well, if I see her again, this time I'm definitely going to talk to her. And I didn't see her the whole time leaving. So I was kind of disappointed and then kind of relieved at the same time that I didn't have to like feel embarrassed about what I was going to say next. I mean, after you say how many crunches you do, where else can you go from there? It's pretty much top of the line with pickup lines. But so then I was walking out the door, and lo and behold, your mom was sitting on the bench right outside, and I couldn't believe it. And then I had a decision point. I was like, tick, 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 tick. Do I talk to her, or do I walk by and just give her another smile? And I said, no, this is the time. I'm going to say something. So I walked over and I said, hi. How many push-ups did you do?
Crunches.
Crunch is the first time, Kate. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
You have to progress with the questioning.
I think what he said was, do you need a ride?
There we go.
Oh, that's so
See?
creepy.
Yeah, it's
We were like the
It
same
wasn't.
age.
It wasn't
like
creepy
it was-
in the late '90s. That was.
Yeah.
That was just
Nowadays, that would
nice.
be kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
true. It wasn't that.
stranger danger.
So she said that her mom, which is now your nudgy, was coming to pick her up, and
Drive
I
at 19.
I had a 1996 edition Jansport backpack that I was rocking, and on the cover of the top of it was a little flip top leather cover, and Mom wrote her name on it, and I think we still have that backpack to
Are
today.
you serious?
Name and phone number. I actually just have to correct you. It would have been the 95 because that was the year we met
Oh, 95 edition.
of the backpack. But yeah, we still have the backpack.
And I think I gave it to you at one point. You were
Mhm.
using it. It was
Mhm.
black with a
Yeah.
tan leather
Jansport's
strap.
last
Yeah, we still
forever,
have it.
so.
It's crazy.
The
Wow.
phone number is still on.
Yeah.
So
you can
how,
still
what
see
did
it.
you say to make her write her number or make you write a number?
I said, if you think you are going to get in that car, you're going to put a number on this first. that was creepy. I admit that. No, I think I just gave her sweet googly eyes, and I think there happened to be a party later on that evening, which I invited her to, and she accepted. And then I said, okay, well, I need your number to find out what time to come get you. And so that's how the deal was done.
Mom
That's-
hates parties.
I know.
Did you hate parties then, or were you
Yeah.
different? And then,
Yeah. I didn't like awkward kind of things, especially where I didn't know anybody. But
Well,
I,
you
brought
knew
my, I
Dad.
brought my friend at the time,
Mm.
who was my friend.
So did Dad have to pick up you and your friend?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think you were at your house, and your friend was there. And
Yeah.
Did you both get in the back seat, or was it like one next to Dad and one
No,
next
I
to you?
guess I sat next to Dad, and she sat in the back seat. So that was that.
yeah, I don't know if I brought any of my friends.
I don't know if you. I don't think you brought anyone. All your friends were at the party, so they
Mm.
probably all drove too.
You have to come a little closer to
Oh,
the mic.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of echoey, yeah.
With these microphones, I think what I've learned is there's two different types of microphones. These are called dynamic microphones, and then there's the other type. I think it's called regressive microphones, something like that. And those ones are ones that are used more in like podcasts and things like this. But this is our starter podcast kit, and these microphones are fine as long as you're close to them without inhaling them. All right. Well, I think that was a good story.
Oh, good.
And what? So this year we had mentioned last year as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you wanted to add to last year as a kid?
What do you mean?
Maddox, explain what last year as a kid is.
Oh,
We're getting better with the explanation. Let's see, can you get even better for it?
I'd say it's a headache.
It's a headache.
That's crazy.
Last year, as a kid, feels that he should be out here as a partner on the show, but
Well, there'll be different times for different people.
that's what I said. Oh, you got a book there.
No.
Should we,
So yeah.
not trying to cut Mom off, but
No.
we're at 40.
Oh, we're at
Should
48
we,
minutes. We're trying to keep this to 59 minutes.
Should we bring in PJ and Haley?
Okay.
Yeah, if they're available.
Well, thanks
Well,
for having me.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank
Alright.
you.
You look lovely tonight.
I learned something new about you guys today.
I can't believe you'd never heard that story before.
No, I did. I knew you guys worked at the YMCA and then, well, not worked, but worked out there. And then you guys met there and stuff. But I didn't know the 19 and the backpack and the party
And the crunches.
and the car.
crunches were crazy.
All right,
Okay.
get out.
And who am I sending? Haley and baby.
Haley and baby.
Or is Amy going to come in?
Haley and baby.
Amy went to bed.
Yes. I mean, no. I'm not happy we went to bed, but I want Haley and baby to come because they're leaving and they won't be here tomorrow or next time we do the podcast.
All right. So are you going to introduce Haley?
Sure.
I wonder if I can hold the baby. Wait a second.
Yeah, I'll introduce her.
And the baby?
And the baby. I could do both.
Does the baby have any interesting nicknames yet?
Yeah, her name's Posey Jane. That's her actual name, isn't her nickname. Her name's Posey Jane. We call her PJ. It's pretty self-explanatory. Middle name's Mary, but we do have a funny nickname for her. We call her Wellington.
Wellington. How did that come about?
I don't know. We just started calling her it. It just kind of popped in your head.
And say the baby
Her
voice
head.
when you say Wellington.
Go ahead. You can do it.
What? My baby voice?
How you say Wellington?
Her eyes
PJ
are open right
Wellington?
now.
Like you're talking to her.
Do you say it with that confused questioning type of voice?
No, I'll probably say I don't know. Do I say the baby voice?
We don't talk to her in a super baby voice.
don't,
Just
no.
more of a softer, higher pitch.
Hello, baby Wellington. How are you?
Yeah. We say good morning.
Yeah. No, Brody asked us, he said, do you talk to her in a baby voice? And I said, no. And he's like, you don't talk to her like with the W's as R's? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, like we don't speak with lisps to
No.
her. We just speak in a higher pitch voice. Like, hello, PJ.
Oh,
nice
yeah,
to
we
see
do.
you.
PJ Wellington.
Like that.
There
Yeah.
you go. See,
There
that's
it
the
is,
baby
yeah.
voice. There you
Okay,
go.
then yeah.
You hit the right octave there.
Good.
But this is my wife, Haley.
Hello.
Haley, originally Haley Vaught, now Haley Sweeney.
Baby PJ.
She is a lot older than me.
What, 2 months?
Yeah, about 2 months older than me. But I'd like to say that she's a lot older than that. And her and I just had our first child, PJ Wellington, as we call her.
PJ Mary.
PJ Mary's her actual name. We call her PJ Wellington, and she is about a week and 5 days old today.
Yep.
Yep. So coming up on 2 weeks. You want to show her? Can you see her?
She's finally sleeping.
No, she's not. Her eyes are open.
No, I'm saying at night.
Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love how you look at her and her eyes are open. She's staring at you, and then when you look down at her, she'll close them real quick.
Yeah. She plays with you.
She's sneaky.
She is.
All right, so Haley, we just asked Jen how she and I met. How did you and Keaton meet?
Oh, that's a fun story. Well, I went to Red Lion High
We were
School.
at the gym. And
No.
I asked her how many crunches.
I went to a school called Red Lion High School, or junior high, and I had a group of friends. And then I moved away to Susquehannock High School, and then Caden moved into Red Lion, became friends with my friends, and then we went to a Penn State game together, and we were introduced there.
So you didn't know each other before the Penn State game?
No. I heard of his name before. My friend Rachel actually said, I know this boy named Caden, you might like him. And I actually said I wouldn't because of a guy he was friends with that I didn't like. And I said, no, I don't want to talk to him. So. But now look at us.
So what was the first thing Caden said to you?
Oh, he said, hey. And I said, hey. And our friend Micah made a joke about him. And then that was it. We didn't talk for the rest of the time until, dinner after the game.
Yeah, just, little small talk here and there.
I didn't think we
Mainly
talked
as
much at all during
Mainly
the
as
day.
a group, because we were there with a group. So it was more just like talking with the group.
That's true. But then at dinner, we
But-
started talking in French.
That's how I actually got her.
We bonded through
Haley
French.
said that she takes French and she really liked it. And I pulled out the one French line I know, and she fell in love.
What is it?
It is, est-ce que vous voudrez manger quelque chose?
It's something about-
Do you want to eat something?
Yeah, I thought you also said, what do I want to drink or something,
Something
like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, you know French? And he's like, that's the only line I know. And so we
Came clean right away. Nice.
but we talked the whole time at dinner. And then on the way home, I sat behind you. And then you asked me for my Snapchat before we all left. And then we didn't talk after that until I posted a picture of dinner, which was shrimp pasta with peas and vegetables. And then he swiped up on it and said, that looks delicious. And we have not stopped talking since.
Oh. Pasta made that baby.
Yeah. We bond over food to this day. So
Yeah, that's our favorite thing
definitely
to
our
do.
thing.
Do you still make that dish?
No, actually, my mom made it one time and that was it. It was one and done. On one of our anniversaries, we should make shrimp pasta.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that is going to do the podcast today. I think we kind of introduced everybody. That's PJ.
Yeah. Can't
So,
talk yet.
She's trying.
Oh, she's trying.
So that is a check in that block. So we're going to try this thing again. I think this was a good opening show. Appreciate Haley you joining us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks.
I appreciate the cleaning crew over there. Building and tearing down. That was fantastic and not distracting whatsoever. And Caden, thanks for driving over. And hopefully we'll watch some reels after this. And Lucy, I think we're doing a good job together. I think we have good chemistry.
Yeah, thanks for having me on your show.
See? Just like that.
Very much. It was a good time. It went by really quickly. And it's neat having on these headphones and listening
Yeah.
to yourself
like
speak
this.
through the microphones. It's pretty cool.
So next week, any thoughts, ideas for topics?
Are you guys trying to stick to like a category?
No.
Like family
We're
or
just
just
talking-
anything?
We didn't get
Talking
to introduce Emmy today, so it'd be cool if
Amy might
Emmy's
be
a cool
tough
girl.
one. Amy might be a tough one.
well, if she wants to come on, then a good topic might be to have her come on and tell us all about horses. Learn a little bit about horses, about training horses.
She could tell you the difference between Western and English riding.
Types of
I think that'd
riding.
be good. Let's see if she'll be willing to come on. If we don't talk about horses, then let's talk about elephants.
It's actually a lot to do with horses. Horses are pretty interesting. I never knew it until she started working with them, and they're really cool.
There's a lot of technical
So-
words that go along with horses.
Horses are really neat, just how they interact, and then it's also cool. There's a lot with riding them. Yeah, like you said, and there's a lot of technical stuff going on.
PJ's
with
making her presence known.
learning how to ride.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off. Thank you. If anyone actually ever does watch this, thank you for watching this. And we hope that you click like buttons and hit subscribes and things like that. I think that's something that you have to say on all of these podcasts. So I'm going to say it now. And thank you for our sponsor. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a
Anyone want a
Who
sponsor?
knows what that is. All right. Well, I'm
We
gonna
have
hang up
one.
for
We're just not going to let anybody know who it is.
now. All right. We're going to do it live later. Bye.